Good afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the podcast now, netnewsnetwork.net. I have my friend with me right now. Her name is Loretta Rodger, and Loretta is a crafter. And last time you were on the show, by the way, we're talking about how to be organized, and man, you had me pegged.
I did. I was quite pleased with my diagnosis.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I have to be able to. I don't mind being in a box. I just want to be able to see out the windows of the box.
Exactly.
And
but
so,
as soon as you started showing your room a little bit, I'm like, oh my goodness, you are textbook B, and I was right. But here's a little secret you didn't know. Way back when Cassandra started that clutterbug.me website, she offered a organizing expert workshop. And I actually have an organizing certificate from her so that I am a certified organizer. So
I don't think I'll ever reach the status of being a certified organizer.
It's kind of more for show than anything. I'm not going to really do it professionally. I would do it, for friends and things like that, because I know what an importance having things where you can get them regardless of what style you are really is. I took out 8 bags of trash from my craft room last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was worth it, but it was a lot.
Uh-huh. There are things, you really have to have help, not crowding it up too much. You know what I mean? I like mine. I kind of have this, and I don't know if I'm self-taught. I don't know how this is. Maybe it's something you said one time because we've been friends for a long time. And so what I do is I collect things that I know I'm going to use later, but I want them out of my way. I don't want them like in my craft room. I want them tucked away in a closet. I know exactly where it is. So when I do decide to work on, because I work on different, and let me know if this makes sense. I'm in different moods. So now I've got my Cricut out. I've not had that out in months. And so, I bought a blade finally for it, needed a blade. And so I've got it laying next. I'm about to start doing some stuff on the Cricut machine. Well,
which Cricut do you have?
It's the Explorer Air.
Okay.
And I've had it for a while, but it works for me. It does just fine. And so I made some earrings. I was going to show them to you, and I didn't bring them in here. So I actually found that on my Cricut machine, I can use leather and use these little cutout designs and actually make earrings with the Cricut, and not have to cut anything out. I don't have to use scissors.
Yeah, you don't. And sometimes since you have the older Cricut machine, you may have to kind of tweak some settings to get it to cut through that material, but it's usually pretty worth it.
Oh, I like it, but I had to change. No, I did this a long time ago when I first got the machine, and so I had to buy a mat that would actually hold the leather down. So it's a different mat, so those are little things that you do have to definitely tweak. But I like those earrings, and I just like leather, funky, weird looking, like this. I like weird stuff.
Oh, let me see.
This,
that's really pretty. I like that.
And so this is metal, and it's some found metal. So what I did is I got it, and I used another machine I have, and I put a design on it. And then I rolled it through this machine, and then I cut it in triangles.
Yeah.
So, and then I used a Sharpie marker just to I don't know if you can see it worth anything right now, but it has circles and it has lines. It's just funky.
And something else, I don't know if you've ever tried or not, but you can buy it at like Hobby Lobby, but it's called Rub and Buff. And any of the little indentations, what you do is you take this rub and buff and you put it on there, and then you buff it off, and it leaves behind just a little bit of color and shine, like gold or silver, copper. And
rub and buff.
Rub and buff. Yeah. The other thing you can do is if you get the metal really hot after you make that piece of jewelry, and you just take some foil from like the scrapbook section, and like Spellbinder sells it at Sizzix, but there's a few still in our Hobby Lobby. And you just take that while it's hot and put some of the that foil on top, and just, nice pot holder or something, rub it really well and let it sit, and then peel it off, and all of that foil is going to transfer right to the metal because it was hot enough to do it.
Oh, how long does it stay on there?
Maybe 2 minutes at the most, 3. It doesn't take long. You just want to get it on there, rub it really good, and let it cool off, and then peel the backer off, and it's perfect. I've done it on several different things, and it works really well.
I love unique things. I like, and for gifts and stuff, I like to do this. I don't want to go to Walmart and get something that, 2,000 other people have the same piece of jewelry because it was made in assembly line. So even when I just make stuff and put it in craft fairs or whatever. I like to make unique things. And now in Charlotte, North Carolina, I had women who would pay for it, and they would say, now they would bring me outfits, and I would have to ask a few questions. I had to know what their style was, because everything's in style when it comes to jewelry. And I like to use me and Mother and my daughter-in-law for an example. The Mother likes gaudy. She likes big pieces of necklaces, big earrings, big bracelets, ring on everything, all this kind of stuff. Well, Larissa likes simple. She likes tiny little hoop earrings. If she wears a necklace, it needs to be simple. I'm somewhere in between them. I'm probably a little closer to Larissa, but if I wear big earrings, then I wear a simple necklace, or I don't wear a necklace at all.
I thought I had a really big piece of jewelry, actually, I found at a local thrift store, and it's really chunky, but it would be perfect for like some little summer outfit. Yeah, it's got those kind of beachy theme feel to it. So, but I wish I had remembered before we got started to have it out and show you. But
yeah. But you know what I like to do? I like to, if I go to a thrift store and I find jewelry, if it's huge, it's not my deal. I mean, it's not my style. It looks great on other people, but it's just not my thing. But I'll go ahead and buy it, especially if it's a nice stone. Right. I mean, it's like a really pretty classic piece of stone, because I'll take bits and pieces of it off and make something else. So I found a piece, and it was gaudy. I mean, it was like, but it was real stone. That thing was heavy. It would be, I mean, you'd lose 10 pounds wearing that thing. So because you had to tote the thing around.
Oh, yeah.
So, but what I wound up making from that, it was just the necklace. So I wound up making a pretty bracelet. And also a pair of earrings, and then I still had enough to reinvent the necklace, and so I reinvented that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like to buy the big tangled up wads of junk jewelry, that nobody else wants, and I'll come home with that big 10-pound worth of knotted crap and a pair of good pliers and a pair of good wire cutters, and I am going to cut it apart and sort the beads, sort the findings if they can still be used, and use all of it in something else.
Oh, well, I don't know how many like wind chimes and stuff out of all that stuff. And at Goodwill, I got, now this has been months ago, and so I bought at the same website you buy from. And it seems like the whole thing of jewelry, I wound up getting it for about $40 or something. It wasn't a whole lot. Do you know I found a 10-karat gold bracelet in it?
Yeah, I found a couple of pieces of really nice chains, gold chains. They just needed to be cleaned up. I found some topaz and what's the other one that? Oh gosh, grief! It's not.
I love jade. As a matter of fact, that's what I made this necklace a long time ago, and so.
Oh,
now I bought this off of something else, but it's a jade piece. So what I did is I made kind of a tassel. Tassels are always going to be in style. So I made some tassels, and I used some jade beads for that, and just made it out of a tassel, and just put it on this right here, just and then put it on a chain, and
wow.
But I love jade.
Jade is such a natural, and it's smooth. It's nice to touch,
I just like to touch it. I just touch this all the time. But how do you know, Loretta, Are there some tips that like if you're at a yard sale or whatever, and you see a box of jewelry? Sometimes I'll say, how much would you take for the whole box? I let them tell me, because sometimes I'm willing to say $10 and they may say $2 and it's yours. So I always let them speak first. And so how can you know whether something is really a stone or it's a nice piece of plastic?
Well, you can really, by the feel of it for the most part, if it's a stone and it's not plastic, any rock has its own texture, its own feel. They're heavier. If it's plastic, it's not going to be real heavy. And the other thing that I suggest people buy and have with them if they go to a yard sale is a diamond tester. Let me get mine, I hope.
I've got one of those.
Yeah, take it with you.
And the battery lasts forever on it. Because I'm going to tell you what, there are fake diamonds that look real. I mean, now with the magnifying glass, you'd be able to tell. But what I'm saying is they're lab diamonds, which to me aren't the same as what somebody gets up at mine somewhere. They're pretty and everything, but you can tell. I mean, and using that little
cloudier.
Oh man. And then sometimes, you and I were talking about this one time. A friend of mine, used to own a consignment shop. And so she brought a necklace that it actually said 14 karat gold on it. But I could tell by looking at it, it wasn't. And so I didn't want her to think I was ripping her off. So I asked her to go to a jewelry store and let them test it. She came back and she said, "You're right. It's not real gold." And she bought it at St. Thomas, and it was a guy out on the street. And so, it wasn't real. And she said, "But Donna, it says 14 karat gold. It's stamped on there." I said, "It's not." I said, "But don't take my word. Take it to the jewelry store." And she said, "I trust you." And I said, "No, I want you to get another opinion." So she goes and she comes back and she says, "I spent $300 for that, thinking I was getting something that's worth about $2,000. It was a big old pretty thick one too. I mean, if it were gold, it would have been something. It sure would. We've got to go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Hang in there. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdy.lawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, we're back.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0.
The best sleep just got even better. Whether you have a My Pillow or not, you need to get the brand new My Pillow 2.0. Call or go to mypillow.com now. Use your promo code, and for a limited time when you buy one, you'll get a second one absolutely free.
My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182, on Charter Communications, as well as Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, netsnewsnetwork.net. I wanted to mention this too, Loretta, about the podcast. If you get your feelings hurt really easy, you don't want to go there.
Okay.
And this is like truth. I am just excited to be in the midst of all these talk show hosts. I mean, I can't believe I was asked to join them. So anyway, it's a great website. You'll find all kinds of truth there. And people don't mince words either. I mean, they talk about the way it is and the way it's happening. So anyway, check it out, netnewsnetwork.net. I have Loretta Rodger with me right now. We're talking about crafts and how to save money and, you know, being organized and all those kinds of great things. So this is what I used to do because I had a consignment shop as well as a TV show when I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina. So people would come in and bring things and they would say, I think this is a real stone, but I'm not real certain. So this is what I found works. So if you're not sure if it's a real stone or whatever, you've been to a yard sale, you don't know whether to buy it or not. Even if it's 200 degrees outside, it's hot, you're sweltering, you're at a yard sale. If it has a cold feel to it, it's a stone.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you can find out if something is real or not. And so, and again, I do this too, like with a stone. Now if it's, you may not want to do this because it is, it's a used piece of jewelry. It's been on somebody's body. But another thing I like to do is get the stone and I put it to my cheek.
Oh, yeah.
And if it feels cold to my cheek, that's a real stone. It's authentic.
Yeah.
What is your favorite stone? Because everybody has their own happy stone. What's yours?
Diamonds.
Other than diamonds. So if it's something a rock stone.
Lapis. I
like that too. I like amethyst.
Lapis is a really interesting stone because for non-crafty people, what they don't know or may not realize is that lapis, the color, is made from lapis, the stone. They use this whole process where they literally crush it to, just powder to make watercolor out of it. Mm-hmm. So it's actually a pigment in a lot of things that are in our everyday life. But yeah, lapis is just that blue. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty.
I love black onyx.
Oh.
And my grandmother gave me a ring. I still have it. She said it used to be her ring. My granddad had given it to her when they first started dating. And it was too little to fit around her finger anymore. So she said, I want you to have it because I know you'll take good care of it. I think I was about 13 when she gave it to me. She said, since you're a teenager, I think you can take this. But it's a silver pearl.
Oh, wow.
It's a silver pearl. And I'm going to tell you what, I love that ring. I mean, that.
I think you do. I have a black, my high school ring was a black onyx cocktail ring. So, yeah.
How can you tell? Because there are some man-made, looks like pearls, and they're not really pearls. How can you tell whether something's a pearl or not?
Well, and I hate to say it because people think it's gross, but really the best way, you can buy a pearl testing kit or you can rub them on your teeth. So if they're smooth, it's the old switcheroo. So they should feel rough on your teeth if it's real pearls. And that's, yeah, actually, when you and I bought a lot of the mixed crap jewelry, online, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, there were 1 or 2 strands that were real pearls. They're not really worth anything, but they're pretty to wear and I enjoy them. But you can, that it really does work. It's smooth.
And you and I need to go to this in Atlanta. There's a show. I haven't been to it since COVID hit. But I'd like to go back, and they have it once a year, sometime in the fall of the year. So there's this one guy I kept going to year after year after year, and he wants you to bargain with him. And he sells all kinds of pearls. I mean, every shape, every size. This is like an authentic place. I mean, you can buy like the real stuff. You can buy diamonds. You can buy diamonds that have not been. They're still in kind of like a rock like. You can buy real diamonds. And there's a guy that wanted me to. I worked with him for 3 years, and so he liked it because I knew the stones. And you really have to watch people because he sold his stuff was like high quality, high price stuff. Like, so what he would do, he would say, I can either, his English was really broken up. I forgot where he was from, Iran, I think.
Could be.
So he would say, so do you want money? Do you want cash? I pay you $150 a day. Or you can take $200 a day in like his stuff.
Right.
And I'd say, I want the $200 deal.
Say, I would go for the stuff myself.
Yeah. So I got pink topaz that I've never done anything with. Blue topaz. I've got citrine stones that I've just never done anything with. I buy it knowing I'm or got it from him. And this has been like 5 years ago. So we're living in Charlotte is when I started working with it. So it's been a long time ago, longer than 5 years ago. And I still haven't done anything with those stones.
Wow.
there's going to be a time that I will. But
do a cute little wire wrap and make a necklace or some ear. Oh, yes.
There's so many things. I just haven't been in the mood for it. I have to be in the mood. Is that a true crafter? Do you have to be in the mood for it?
Yeah, and sometimes you have to do something that's, you don't necessarily want to do, but if you've lost your mojo, you got to start back somewhere. So,
well, for some reason, I've been into the metal stuff, like this. I've just been into that for the longest, but I checked on his website and they were valued at, like there was a strand, I think there's about 30 or 40 stones on them. The pink topaz at that time was valued at $30. Now it's valued over $100.
I'm sure.
So I came out a whole lot better taking the stones.
Oh yeah, absolutely you did. Congratulations, good find.
Oh, well, it's a good find. And he also had top of the line copper stuff. So I would get a lot of that stuff, mostly stones.
I love copper. I love copper wire because it's organic and it's easy to work with. So even in card making, you can use copper. I like it when you can find the really thin sheets of the copper foiling, and you can stamp, and then with an ink that's called Versamark. It's a really sticky ink. And so you can stamp your image with that and then put that foil right over the top of it as quickly as you can. And then you buff it with a towel or a really soft brush. And that foil will transfer to that image. And it looks like the old-fashioned letterpress. Do you remember that from back in the day? That's what it looks like. It looks like it was letterpress in this really gilded with, something really special. But yeah, I haven't. It's been a while since I've seen that foil, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous result, and I love to do it.
Man, I just love anything crafting, anything you make with your hands.
Yeah, me too.
Now tell us about your website. We've got a little bit over 2 minutes left in this segment.
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I just did a refresh on my website. It is no longer Designs by Loretta. It's just Loretta. Rodger.com, and on the header it says Loretta Lynn Rodger because I do like to use my full name. And so I had a friend of mine who owns Geek Websites. If you'll get in contact with me or with Miss Donna, we will give you her information. So if you're interested in building a blog, maintaining a blog, updating a blog, regardless of who has your blog, GoDaddy, WordPress, whatever, she can take care of it. She's extremely gifted, and she's very reasonable as far as price. And so I had wanted something a little bit softer. And so I sent her some ideas, and she took my crude ideas and made them into magic. Really, she did. And so I'm going to be trying to post some more on the blog. And right now I have a giveaway going on. So if anybody is interested in getting a really nice mini album, the link for that, we're going to try to get Phil to put that down below for us or in the description somewhere so that if anybody wants to enter to win that, they can. The drawing isn't going to close until the 23rd of this month, and I'm not really going to close it until the morning, the 24th. So if anybody...
arm.
Yeah. So it's really a pretty book. And I'm hoping to do a few more giveaways and grow my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook. And if you look me up on Facebook, I am now bona fide. I have a little Facebook blue check that says that I have been verified. So you don't have to worry about my information or anything that you share with me being sold or taken over by different entities. So
absolutely. Well,
I'm excited.
We got to call it a day. Now, what's that website?
LorettaRodger.com.
That's RODGER.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. Loretta, thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you for watching The Edge on IC Radio. We're going to get Loretta to come back, and we're going to talk about some more awesome things. But you take care, and we'll see you shortly. Bye.